Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of tarotjuice. I really hope you enjoyed last week's very first episode, and here we are again giving you some really juicy insight on what is to come this week. So, without further ado, let us begin. Let's see what we have in store. So I hope, based on last week's reading, everyone has done really well in, fending off all of those pesky negative habits, confronting them, releasing them, committing to the journey and what it is that we are looking for today. I hope you've been successful. Let's see what this reading tells us. Amazing, we already got 2 cards out on the table. There is some really, I should say, enthusiastic energy coming through. Things that really want to be expressed and told. Again, anyone curious, I am using the Prisma Vision Tarot deck. I love it. It's my favorite. And we're just waiting on one more to come. As I explained last week, the 3-card reading is the general one that we're doing. As I'm saying that, we have 5 cards for this week. Wow. Let's see what is happening. I interrupted myself, and I was just saying that usually the general reading is 3 cards. We're just focusing on 3 energies, the basis, the current energy at play, and the one that is most likely to come based on the trajectory. However, we have 5 cards here, so we're telling a whole narrative, and I'm excited to get into it. So let's see what has come up. Wow. Wow. It's a good one. All right. So I'm going to begin by showing you the cards that came up. 7 of Wands. Take that in. Take that beautiful imagery in. The 6 of Pentacles here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. We got the Knight of Chalices, traditionally known as the Knight of Cups. We got the infamous 3 of Swords. A great card though for anyone who is doubting this card. Great card. And finally we end with the 8 of Wands. All right, let's get into it. So, piggybacking off of last week's reading, I can tell with the 7 of Wands that yes, there has been success. This follows the 6 of Wands, which is all about triumph and coming back from a supposed battle and being victorious. But the 7 of Wands calls for resilience, right? The spotlight is on you now. You have committed to the light. And because you've committed to the light, there's a lot that is wanting to take away from it. There's a lot of jealous energy. There's a lot of insecure energy around you. And we always bless those kinds of energies, okay? We don't let us see that energy as something that is separate of us or something that is out there to get us, right? Because that creates animosity and that affirms the separation, the illusion of separation. We want to make sure that we remember that we are one with everybody. So if we are confronted with people who are perhaps threatened by this new trajectory that we're on, that they want a piece of this new journey that we're on, this journey of light, this journey of positivity, this journey of new beginnings, this journey of flourishing and fertility, we want to make sure that we elevate their own energies into that of compassion, and into that of understanding, and into that of union and camaraderie, right? Don't allow other people's perspectives of things and their own shortcomings, their own journeys, their own wounds and traumas to penetrate your energetic field. This is the most important thing here. We're talking about emotional resilience, okay? Because the spotlight is indeed on you now. You're rising, baby. You're going up. It's coming up. Things are coming up roses, okay? And you got to commit to that. And you got to bless those who can't see that just yet. Because perhaps they're letting their own egos of survival get in the way of seeing the success that you're building. And instead of wanting to be a part of that, they are themselves separating from that, right? And that's okay. That's their journey, and we bless them on that journey. But you are striving towards the light. Look at that. You're striving towards that spiral energy. And the Creator only knows spiral energy. You're going. Your chakras they're turning. The wheels are turning, okay? Chakra means wheel. And those wheels of energy that are based along your spine, they're going, they're turning, they're healing. Okay? Especially since this is the 7 of Wands, we have 7 chakras aligned with our spine. It's a good sign that things are finally coming back to balance. And because of that, we talked about the law of polarity last week. Everything exists with its opposite. So there's so much more light now. So there's going to be so much more darkness around you. And I want to comment on that, right? Light and darkness. What does it mean when I say light and darkness? Light is awareness and information. And darkness is lack of awareness and information. It's nothing scary, right? If we put it in these terms. So now you are a walking beam of information and awareness because you have done the work to tune yourself, to align yourself with such frequencies. And now it's, again, your responsibility. The Creator has bestowed this upon you because the Creator knows that you have what it takes to spread that awareness and light, especially to those who can't perhaps do it themselves just yet. You're there to show them what the path looks like. So don't lose sight of that when you're not getting affirmation from people who you thought you would get affirmation from. Okay? They're just curious, but they only know how to express that curiosity through a threatening sort of energy and tone. So you just keep walking. You just keep striving towards that light, okay? And I already touched upon the second card, which is the 6 of Pentacles, which is giving without the expectation of receiving anything. Selflessness, unconditional love, and providing, right? Look. She's giving him, they're 2 children right now, so we're talking about that inner child that lives inside of us all, who's waking up again, who's healing. And because they're healing, they're so ready to give what they have and to share what they have without asking for anything in return. And look, it's all blooming up here. There's so much reward. Look at that. And now we got this pure energy coming into this reading too. We got this pure energy that's radiating from the divine light. Remember the Leo card we got last week? Here we have the Leo energy blessing us and reminding us that it's all about the divine child. It's all about that divine light that lives inside of us, that wants to share, that wants to be playful, that wants to grow, that wants to create a community based on love, based on understanding, based on mutual connection. Okay? So keep giving. And remember that the most important affirmation comes from the self. We don't do things so that we can have other people affirm us. We don't do things so that we can get other people's attention. We do things so that we can get our own attention, so that we can look at ourselves in the mirror and be our own cheerleaders, so that we can talk to ourselves within and remember that the Creator is the one who is affirming us and loving us and pushing us to go forward. It is our responsibility. So it is your responsibility to keep giving. Keep tapping into that inner child that is ready to come out now. That was so used to hiding in a corner is ready to come out now. And why? the Knight of Chalices. You are head on battling your emotions, your own darknesses, your own fears, your own anxieties. They're coming up now. They're coming up to the surface, but look, they're down here. They're above the water. And you are above that water. You are surging on this wave of amazing energy. And it's up to you to keep riding that wave. And this is an affirmation to keep riding that wave and ride it to the fullest. Okay? Sometimes it's good to wear your heart on your sleeve. And it's good to depend on that energy to keep you going, because otherwise your fuel reserves run out. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep feeling what you're feeling. You gotta keep battling those triggers. Those triggers are coming. Those triggers are here. Those triggers will keep coming, because you now have what it takes to finally release all of that heaviness from your body. You have what it takes to release that weight so that you can embody higher frequencies. Okay? What is the importance of emotional resilience? Why do we talk about the importance of being emotionally stable and constant? Because the more that we build resistance in our body to these negative forces, the more higher frequencies we can embody in our field, in our light. Again, the law of polarity, it is very strong here. You're coming up. So all of these things I want to bring you back down are coming up too, so that you can bless them, release them, give them the attention they deserve, the love they deserve. But then you say, you no longer have space in my body. This body of light, this temple within, no longer houses these frequencies. We no longer operate on them. We no longer give them attention to operate on us. We are in control. It's all about that inner control. And the Three of Swords, again, that really scary, infamous Three of Swords, which a lot of people are scared of, is coming up. But that's all that's saying is there's gonna be a little hiccup in the journey, okay? And that's okay. There's gonna be a little hiccup because we are ready to learn a little more. All right? We're ready to learn a little more here. Perhaps we thought that we had it all figured out, and then the universe blindsides us with, you thought you had it all figured out? You thought you had it all processed? You thought you had it, you thought that, all right, I'm now the superstar and I got this all in my tool belt? Nah, something's coming up too. Something's coming up, and it's gonna make you feel the way that you used to feel in the past. And it's only trying to show you, and it's only trying to test you to see if you're truly ready for the journey. If you're truly ready to face the darkest of dark, which is what? The most unaware part of yourself. If you're ready to face that. And once you face that, once you face whatever it is that wants to stop you in your tracks, remember, this is all in the mind, okay? The Three of Swords, we're talking about the mental realm. It's all in the mind. Once we catch ourselves when we're going through this really dark, sad, anxiety-ridden situation that is going to come up in the journey, once we reach that point where we remember, oh my God, this is just an illusion once again. This is just an illusion that is trying to keep me from the highest frequency of love, because the only thing that is true is love. The only thing that is true is kindness and compassion and empathy. Empathy, empathy, empathy. Empathy for the self first, and then for others, okay? And when I say empathy for the self, I mean the divine being empathetic with you, right? You're just a body. You're fueled by your spirit. And so the divine within you becomes empathetic for you as a human being who is trying to realize this divinity. It's a little bit of a handful, but I think you can understand that. Once we set that empathy forward, that motion of empathy forward, then we can express our empathy to all others who are perhaps not understanding the extent of this journey that we're on right now. The light of this journey that we're on right now. Once we tap into that, Holy Lord, the momentum is going to fast track. The Eight of Wands is all about speed and momentum. We're talking fast velocity here. And when I say velocity, I say that very intently, right? Because what's the difference between speed and velocity? Speed is only motion, right? Velocity is motion with a direction. And you are moving forward. You are moving up and forward. Wow, you are going to get past this little hiccup, this little reminder of the past, this little trauma, this little negative pattern that's gonna be triggered once again. It's gonna stop you in your tracks, so humble yourself. This is a truly a moment of humbling, right? Get back to a mode of empathy. Every time you see something, somebody trying to take it away from you, remember, they're not trying to take it away from you. They are just so curious about how and why you're doing what you're doing. And it is your responsibility to get your frequency right back up from perhaps shame, guilt, embarrassment. You get it right back up to joy and purity and light and enlightenment, okay? Remember, we are all operating on an emotional spectrum here, like a radio frequency. And you're gonna tune that frequency right back up through your breath work, through your meditation, through your yoga, through your eating habits, through your physical habits, through your new social habits, through your new mental habits, everything that you have integrated that we've talked about last week. You gotta stick to that, okay? That is your salvation here. Amazing. I love this journey. And the reason why I love this journey is because it reminds us, right? Most of us have been misguided, right? And have been told that emotions like anxiety, fear, we have to numb that away, push that away, and only focus on the good things. And unfortunately, that's not how this works. We confront and release. We don't numb and distract. So when you're stopped in your tracks, when you notice that a lot of things might be getting in your way, remember, nothing is happening to you. They are just happening. And your response is what rewires. You walk the path of a response, not reaction. And suddenly the momentum is just moving forward. So really hang on to that here, okay? Your tools are your salvation. Unity is your salvation. Community and giving is your salvation. No one is separate of you. No one is against you. You have no enemies. You merely have curious beings trying to understand how you're doing what you're doing. And your responsibility is to give, teach, show them the way. Don't just speak the way, show them the way. Because the Creator has so much love and so much trust for you. Amazing. Let's try to summarize this reading right at the very end here. You've done what you did. You're sticking to the light. You're committing to it. You're running towards it. A lot of things want to get in your way. Remember, these things are not separate of you. These things are merely more defined reflections of you. And the way through it is by giving without expecting anything, because the universe will always give you 100-fold what you give, okay? And there is going to be a moment where your emotions are going to come. Your emotions are going to come. They're trying to get you. They're trying to take you back down from this high ride, this high frequency that you're on, okay? It's up to you to come. It's up to you to stay up there. To look at these with empathy and compassion. You stay up there and you ride the wave. And you probably will get triggered, okay? You're probably gonna get back to, well, whoever you were in the past, they're gonna come up. He or she is going to come up, and that's okay. Because when they come up, We confront them, have a conversation with them within ourselves, and say, thank you for showing up. Thank you for everything you've been for me. Thank you for everything you've taught me to be. Thank you, and now I release you, because you are no longer aligned with who I am today. I release you. I release you. There's no longer room for you in my temple. I release you. And suddenly, everything is just gonna zoom past, zoom up, zoom towards what you are doing, okay? So stick to it, believe it, and be prepared when there's that emotion that's gonna try to take you down, okay? You're ready for this. This is it, this is you. You're ready for this. And that is all we have this week. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you for being part of this journey. We are so blessed, so honored, and we're having so much fun doing this with you all. Really. I only have gratitude for everything that's happening right now, and let's just keep this symbiotic relationship going. Let's continue to be gracious and grateful to each other. Let's continue to hold each other's hands throughout this journey. Let's continue to cling on to all of those cheesy quotations, all of those cheesy motivational speeches, all of those cheesy quotes. The cheese is where it's at, guys. For real. Love is where it's at. Don't let anyone else try to convince you otherwise, because if they do, remember, they are operating in a mode of separation, and that is illusion. Only truth is love. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next week.